All right. It is currently day 2. Israel striked Iran's nuclear facilities and development centers. And hearing a buzzing. Is it from this one here? Yep, mute that. Iran has now hit back, and Israel has hit Iran again. So we're looking at a back and forth here.
This is a Fox News alert. Just hours ago, you could hear the sirens sounding in Jerusalem after Iran sends more than 100 drones toward the Jewish state.
Iran's attack coming after Israel's sweeping strikes against the heart of Iran's nuclear program. Several top Iranian military leaders and nuclear scientists are believed to be dead. Israel says this is just the beginning of Operation Rising Lion, and Iran calling it a declaration of war.
Let's get right to Alex Hogan live from Israel. Alex, what can you tell us this morning?
Hi, Lawrence, Ainsley, and Charlie. So we are getting more and more information in the minutes and hours after all of this began, with Israel saying that it targeted Iran's nuclear capabilities as well as high-ranking military officials. Now Iran's president issued a response saying that its retaliation will make Israel feel foolish for this attack. We also know that this coordinated operation was carried out after years of planning between the IDF and Mossad. Mossad released this footage earlier this morning in a rare disclosure of behind-the-scenes footage of the scenes of Operation Rising Lion. According to Israeli officials, there were 3 phases this morning. The mission included Mossad commando units smuggling vehicles of weapons into Iran, setting up a drone base in Iran, and then activating the drones this morning and using them to hit Iran's surface-to-air missiles. At the same time, the Israeli military deployed about 200 aircraft, mainly fighter jets, to target roughly 100 sites in Iran. And today, the Israeli military says it also destroyed dozens of radar installations.
In recent months, Iran has taken steps that it has never taken before, steps to weaponize this enriched uranium. And if not stopped, Iran could produce a nuclear weapon in a very short time.
Early this morning, multiple explosions were heard at Iran's Natanz nuclear power facility. The International Atomic Energy Agency says that there has been no increase in radiation levels at that facility. The Director General of the IAEA held talks with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, according to his office, just hours ago. And today, Iranian state media say that 6 nuclear scientists were killed in these strikes, as well as these 3 military commanders in the Iran regime. We also just got word from Israel that the IDF killed another high-ranking commander and says that most of the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps high command were killed while gathering in an
Chief of Staff of the Armed Forces, Commander of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, or Guard Corps, Commander of, like, a lot of high-ranking officials here, all eliminated. Top military leaders.
Underground headquarters. Iran's ministry issued the following statement saying, quote, the aggressive actions of the Zionist regime against Iran could not have been carried out without coordination and with the approval of the United States. Thus, the U.S. government, as the main supporter of this regime, will be held responsible for the dangerous consequences of Israel's adventurism. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio stated the following, quote, we are not involved in strikes against Iran, and our top priority is protecting American forces in the region. It was 3 a.m. this morning local time when sirens blared across the country, waking up millions of people in Israel, telling them to get to shelters. The defense minister declared a special state of emergency after this elaborate strike in anticipation for the Iranian response. Israel says that Iran launched as many as 100 drones. We have seen that close to an end at this point in time because the IDF says it was able to strike those drones down using fighter jets, as well as Jordan able to intercept some of those drones in its airspace. As a result of that, there is a slight sigh of relief for Israelis who had been hunkering down close to their shelters for hours. Again, since 3 a.m. this morning, we are starting to see some people make their way out, walk around, and Israeli Home Command has told people that they can venture out a little bit further. That being said, the country and the region on high alert as we go into this weekend.
Yeah, we were told they were buying groceries and bottled water and stockpiling those just in case. Thank you so much, Alex.
Thanks, Alex.
Let's bring in Fox News senior strategic analyst, retired
Passionate
Sergeant
about
General
staying
Jack King. General, thanks so much for joining the program this morning. You know, the Israelis really had three prongs to this almost. They went after the brains of the operation. They went after the certain facility sites, but they also went out after some of the tools that the Iranians would use to respond to this attack, right, General?
Yeah, I mean, it's a comprehensive attack for sure. It's conducted by 200 fighters and a Mossad on the ground. And by the way, the Mossad effectiveness inside of Iran for a number of years is absolutely stunning. They don't talk about what they do, but they've actually hit nuclear sites themselves on the ground in the past. They're quite remarkable. They're probably not going to reveal much about what they're doing here. But yeah, but the four targets they're after are, one, air defense systems, and it appears a lot of the drones that the Mossad launched inside the country were targeting them. And obviously, the nuclear enterprise itself, they hit 7 nuclear sites in doing that, the principal one being the one that's been identified, Natanz, and they haven't identified the other ones. Ballistic missiles, and this is a very key point here. The ballistic missiles are the weapon that could damage Israel. These drones that Iran is flying, they're not a serious threat. It takes 8 hours to get a drone to Israel. There's plenty of time to intercept them. When they flew over 150 of them back in April, every single one of them was defeated. The real retaliation means of ballistic missiles. They've got 2,000 of them before the strike began. And believe me, the Israelis are very, very concerned about these ballistic missiles. And also, the other target is what you mentioned, is the leadership target itself.
General, what is exactly a ballistic missile?
It's a missile
What the hell kind of question is that?
that can travel at Mach speed. It goes into space and comes down on a target with usually a very high degree of accuracy. And the Iranians did fire these at Israel twice before. Once was back in April when it was part of that massive over 300 missile attack and drone attack. And 120 ballistic missiles were fired at Israel, only 4 penetrated their air defense system. However, the next attack that Iran made, they didn't launch drones, they didn't launch any rockets, they launched only ballistic missiles. Over 200 ballistic missiles were launched, and 40 of them penetrated the Arrow system and the U.S. THAAD.
Yeah, and we saw those hit down at some point here. Check out this. Overhead drone footage from Israel. That's what that was right there. I gotta get a proper view for the Fox News setup here, but you get the idea.
Situation. Israel whooped up on all of their proxies and now brought it straight home to the regime in Tehran, and they are tottering. I hope the people in that country are looking at that.
And yet still, there are civilian bombings in Israel, as you pointed out, and Israel has said that is a red line. Earlier today on the Will Cain Show at 4 p.m., I had a member of the Israeli government say there should then therefore be an escalation. That in response to the bombings we're seeing on our screen right now there tonight, there should be an escalation from Israel on Iran. In your mind, what would that look like?
I'm not sure that's a great idea. You know, right now, I think there's a question of what's the next best step. President Trump said today he'd like to see more negotiations, maybe peace negotiations, maybe suing for peace in some way that leaves either the mullahs and...
I wish I would have left that video up there of the attack being intercepted and the one I don't know if it was successful or if it was part of one of the drones or missiles that still landed there, but gives you a good idea of the ratio, how many were shot down and how many actually were successful.
Open path to the nuke sites. President Trump said, I want to make a good faith effort at negotiations to show the world that we're not just going to act rashly. Those things both happened, and the Iranians spit in the president's face. And like he told those folks who attacked our ICE agents, if you spit, we hit. And in this case, it was Israel who hit, and I think they may have hit them hard enough. We'll see what comes next.
All right, Jim Hansen, thank you so much. It's great to see you again tonight. Let's bring in former Green Beret and co-founder of Save Our Lives, Tim Kennedy. Tim, thanks for being here. I think the question on many people's minds in America is, what does this always mean for America? And to some extent, that will be answered by the safety of Americans in the Middle East, our bases, our military, even civilians in Israel and other parts of the Middle East. What would you say tonight is the threat level to all of those Americans?
And without a doubt, there are crucial steps being taken by American military forces abroad.
Yeah, there's always going to be threats, especially when you're dealing with Iran, after they literally said the U.S. is involved in it, even though the U.S. has come out and said that they aren't. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens here in the next few days.
That is unacceptable. Spaces in the desert and the Mossad head, that is unacceptable. And they were fortunately only focused at Air Force bases in the desert and the Mossad headquarters. Only one person was killed. But this is why the Israelis are very concerned about these ballistic missiles. If they launched hundreds of these ballistic missiles at one time and focused on population centers, a different outcome could be. So one of the primary targets here has been taking down these ballistic missiles so they reduce the effectiveness of Iran's retaliation.
General Keane, has there been anything over the past 12 hours that has surprised you about Iran's reaction or lack of reaction? Yeah. Well, certainly they have always sort of waited after an attack to reassess, and it's usually a couple of days, and sometimes it's a couple of weeks. But throwing these drones out there, it's such a feeble attempt. I think they're just trying to demonstrate, mostly to their own people, that they're doing something about this. But everybody knows that that's easily to defeat. The main event will be the ballistic missiles and how many of those truly do remain. And I might say, I mean, why is Israel doing this now? I mean, it became obvious as a result of the negotiations that President Trump's team was conducting that the Ayatollah, you know, through his negotiators, was not about to voluntarily dismantle his nuclear program. And I think, and I've said this from the outset, I believe in the Ayatollah's mind, he believes he would rather have the airstrike against him and recover some of that. In other words, survive to build again, rather than voluntarily dismantle the program that could be verified by independent inspectors. The second thing is, we all know, and the Prime Minister is saying so, Iran was accelerating their program while the negotiations are going on, their nuclear program. And the third thing, and this is important, they were attempting to recover their air defense systems that Israel was so successful in destroying back in October.
So, General, let's talk about this next step, because the president has made it very clear in his post this morning, he's still open to talk. Right. They can choose peace still, but it looks like the Iranians have already canceled the talks going forward. That was pretty much expected. But the president is still opening up the door while still telling them in that same post, I'm going to give Israel even more weapons. And I don't think you're ready for that.
Yeah, well, I do think, you know, obviously the strength that we're displaying here in terms of, and it's going to be a successful impact upon the Iranian regime, gives negotiators a fair amount of leverage, not only dealing with the remnants of a nuclear enterprise, but Iran's malign behavior in the region. I mean, funding their proxies and state sponsorship of terrorism. So there's a lot still here to talk about, certainly. And I think the days unfold in front of us in terms of the Israelis and how long this is going to take. This is conditions-based, and what do I mean by that? They have to do bond damage assessments, which they're doing in some level of detail right now, and their intelligence is exquisite, to determine how much has been damaged and the targets they have assigned to themselves. And based on that and its success in the unfolding days ahead will determine how long this operation continues. And certainly they're talking to President Trump's team about what has taken place and providing feedback. And I would expect that we're providing some intelligence, some logistics support. But the other thing the United States can provide, and I believe we're committed to it, is if this ballistic missile attack comes as we're expecting it to come, then the United States can also assist in defending Israel with other nations in the region, much as has been done before, that was put together by the CENTCOM commander, Eric Carrillo, if you can remember.
So it looks like there's 4 major areas. Obviously, the capital, Tehran, and 3 other locations here. Major spots of these attacks.
Development is going to change the current geopolitical situation in that part of the world. There is no doubt about that. Now, in the last hour, I spoke with 2 former diplomats who have extensive experience in that region. Here's that conversation now. Dennis Horak was Canada's ambassador to Saudi Arabia from 2015 to 2018. He was also the head of mission in Iran from 2009 to 2012. And John Allen was Canada's ambassador to Israel from 2012 to 2016. Thank you both for being here and welcome back to Power Play.
Thank you. Pleasure.
Mr. Horak, I'll start with you. I just wanted to know how concerned you are about what we've been seeing in the last 24 hours in the Middle East.
It is concerning. It's a very dangerous situation, very
No shit.
volatile. We don't know where this is going over the next few days or weeks, and so it is a concern for sure.
Mr. Allen, before we saw the waves of retaliation, there were many people who were worried that this could really tip the region into a full-scale war. Do you feel like we're there now?
It's hard to say. It's really going to depend on the tit for tat that might or might not come. We've seen one retaliation by Iran, 40 people in Israel injured, 2 quite seriously. And there are suggestions that Israel's not finished with what it started yesterday, and that it may want to go back at some of the other nuclear sites and weaken Iran more. So I think we have to wait and see whether the calls for restraint are going to be heard, or whether Israel is going to continue these activities.
Mr. Allen, how significant is it for you that we had seen these strikes directly in the heart of Tel Aviv, and not to say that the Iron Dome didn't work, but really to have these strikes there, that is certainly something of significance.
It's definitely significant. Very few rockets, either when Iran fired its 100 rockets before, or when Hezbollah, the Houthis, and Hamas have fired their rockets in the past, have hit a major urban center. So this is very concerning for Israelis. The Americans and even the Jordanians have been helping the Israelis trying to intercept these rockets and drones, but obviously not fully successful.
So these are the first, I guess, the first strikes that have actually been successful here on Israel. We're got a lot of footage of it too. It's just absolutely crazy. There's another one right here. Here's the IDF, the drone footage.
Ports, our naval bases, to such a similar attack with drones that have been secreted into the nation and then used by the Chinese or the Russians, or maybe even the Iranians at some point in the future, and conduct a bolt out of the blue that could cause a tremendous amount of damage.
Chuck, my mind went directly there where you're leading us earlier today in the stories that you and I have done together about Chinese farmland in the United States and other places where you could hide shipping containers or 18-wheelers full of drones ready for attack like we saw in Russia and now in Iran. The question, though, is does Iran have that technological capability?
Well, they certainly have the technological capability. The question is, have they been trying over the last several months to pre-position those assets? The challenge, if you're not at war yet with the United States, is if we uncover such a plot, it's a casus belli, right? It's a reason for us to strike whatever country it was that did it or enact very strong sanctions on them. Now, in the case of Ukraine and Russia, they're already at war. In the case of Israel and Iran, they already have high tensions with Iran having unleashed their proxies on Israel. So there's very different diplomatic ramifications for, in the case of Ukraine and Israel than in the case of some potential power doing it here. And I doubt, I know that the Iranians have assets. I know they have assassination teams, and they've had other things that they do here to intimidate, for example, the Iranian diaspora, to try to force them not to be critical of the regime. But I would think that the greater threat would be from our larger potential enemies, the People's Republic of China and the Russian Federation.
All right, there you have it.
Thank you for your patience. Let's get back to the updates. I gotta put my headphones on. Let me get my headphones on.
Make sure you check out Agenda Free TV. Very good channel. Very, very good channel. Would recommend 100%.
Breaking news. Iran state media, Tasnim news agency, says several loud explosions were heard in eastern Tehran. Hakimeh. They just posted that. Several loud explosions were heard in eastern Tehran, Hakimeh, and Tehran Pars neighborhoods. Let's see where that is. Here it is. I found.
Okay, check this out right here. From the Real American Voice, or Real America's Voice, Steven Gruber. Got some footage here.
Oh.
Crazy. Looks like more strikes after we just heard from Agenda Free TV there.
Al Mayadeen says, oh, breaking news. Al Mayadeen says a loud explosion was heard in the city of Isfahan, where a major Iranian nuclear site is.
Just gonna quickly refresh that. Make sure we're
report
good.
of an explosion in Isfahan from Al Mayadeen. Oops. And where is this here? And a report of explosions just a couple minutes ago in eastern Tehran. Also, the New York Times reported. The New York Times reported that residents of Tehran are hearing constant drones above them.
We have a confirmation.
That was in the last hour. Also, in case you missed it, I posted.
Check out this angle here.
And what we're also finding is this necessitates a measured comprehension of what's been happening for just 24 hours. Although Israel achieved a lot of stunning success, like you mentioned, most of the Iranian nuclear program is still intact. And we're also seeing that Iran is able to get through the Iron Dome and strike targets in Israel. And so I want to bet as an American on my president achieving peace even still. I think there's still hope and worthy cause for prayer, and that's where we should think and devote our energy next, because we can't afford escalation.
No, we cannot. No country can.
Oh, breaking news. Al Jazeera reports that in Isfahan, Iran, there are explosions. Oh, they say that Iranian media are saying that there are explosions in air defense systems in Isfahan, Iran, where there are some major nuclear facilities. So, again, I can't confirm this stuff. Isfahan is here, south of Tehran, away south of Tehran. There's Isfahan there. That's Isfahan city is in Isfahan province. By the way, the Israeli woman who died in the Iranian missile strikes, she apparently was in Ramat Gan. That's what the New York Times said, I believe. They said that, the woman who died was in the Tel Aviv suburb of Ramat Gan. We were watching some video of damage there. It's 3:48 a.m. Israel time.
Alright, I'm back. Had to get some water, stretch. Can't sit for too long without stretching. Don't want to get any issues there. Go back to an actual reporter.
Access to an Iran camera. It is very, very, very rare to have access to an Iran camera.
Okay, I didn't know what he was saying there. That was rare. I guess it would be rare for an Iran camera, because why would they have that? I highly doubt they would.
Before the latest Israeli attacks, said U.S. officials estimate that Iran has more than 3,000 ballistic missiles. But, I mean, if Israel is targeting them, and, you know, they use up 100 or so on an attack, that's a fair amount of their missiles. You don't want to run out if you're Iran.
Who even knows if they have 2,000? Could just be a bluff anyway. Who knows if they have 2,000 actual working missiles? They could have 2,000 on standby. With 1,000 working, maybe? I don't know. Who actually knows the exact number, other than the Iranians themselves?
hearing maybe some call to prayer there. I'll get you a little summary of what's been going on here, if you give me a moment. If you give me a moment.
All right, while that's going on, let's see if we can get an update on the things happening in LA. On this channel, I plan on covering everything I don't cover on the main channel. Obviously, I cannot stream this on the main channel. I don't think YouTube would be too happy with... Well, I mean, this guy's part of the partner program, so maybe, I don't know. Maybe you can get away with it, I'm not sure. But at the end of the day, the algorithm on that channel is set up for Canadian politics. Ever I upload anything American, even if it has to do with Canada, American-Canada relations, or tariffs, trade routes, anything. Comments from Trump, comments from Carney on the situation. The algorithm only really favors Canadian politics, and even then, I wonder if I end up on a certain list or not, depending on the things I say. So, when it comes to situations like this, and the LA riots, and I don't know, whatever else could potentially happen in the future, I'll probably go live on this channel, upload clips onto this channel, and then leave the main channel for specifically Canadian politics, Canadian events. This weekend should be quite interesting. I'm just trying to hold on here. Let's see. I want to see if there's any new footage of the LA protests or riots, whatever you want to call them. I know AP was doing one earlier, but it looks like they stopped. Don't know if this is live right now, but it looks like once again they're outside they're outside of the MDC, Metropolitan Detention Center. Get some water here. Yeah, okay, I'm not listening to that. It's only coming through one ear. God, the news channels are so bad. They can't even figure that shit out.
Iran has fired 3 waves of drones tonight at Israel. Not drones, 3 waves of missiles. 3 waves of missiles at Israel.
Yeah, ballistic missiles.
The Iran-backed Lebanese militant group Hezbollah issued a statement that offered condolences and condemned the attack, but did not threaten to join Iran in its retaliation. And You know, we never talked about it. It happened while we were off the air, but President Trump posted about this on his Truth Social today. Couple things. Why am I not signed in here? Here we go. President Trump Truth Social. It seems like it's not working. It says no truths. It's not working? Oh, there it is.
Okay, so this is the big clip circulating right now. I gotta get used to streaming later at night. I am not used to it at all. Circulating, I almost said that as a word. This is the clip circulating around the web right now. The big defense. This is actually a different view than I've seen. I don't know how AP gets all these clips, but my God, they must have people everywhere, or they just must buy everything. So there you have it. Crazy. Crazy stuff.
He also said, 2 months ago, I gave Iran a 60-day ultimatum to make a deal. They should have done it. Today is day 61. I told them what to do, but they just couldn't get there. Now they have perhaps a second chance. By the way, I don't know that Israel would want to make a deal.
Probably not, especially after what we just saw right there. I want to go back actually to his reaction when it was happening. Like, this is pretty crazy. This was there right here.
Interceptors going up, guys.
So this was almost 7 hours ago.
I'm not live on YouTube? I am live on... Oh, crap. Am I not live? Crap. I am live on YouTube. I just heard something. All right, we just saw an interception, I think. I think we just saw an interception. We just saw an interception. Look at that. See that? Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Interceptions taking place. Interceptions taking place. Interceptions taking place. Wow! Oh, something just fell down and hit. I put the wrong link up.
So that was 7 hours ago. That was the main clip that was surfaced.
Hold on a second. Sorry, I don't even have my...
Wow, okay. And a little bit of the aftermath here. And then I don't think anything happened for... I don't even know how long. Like, at least a couple hours. And then I think, yeah, this is earlier, so he's doing a replay. By the way, this is a replay of the stream from about 5 hours ago, 7 hours ago. The initial strike hit 7 hours ago.
Half hour ago. Here it is. They said in the past hour, 2 barrages of surface-to-surface missiles were launched from Iran. I want to keep that up.
I don't think he had the footage for that one, but there was another one on screen here. Is it this one? Jesus Christ, this is insane.
Another. Wait.
A U.S. official told
it has, in the last hour, the IDF says it has intercepted 3 suspicious aerial targets.
Okay, hold on. I want to hear what this has to...
This is going to drag on for a matter of days and possibly even weeks. I've been talking with officials throughout the region today, speaking with not only Israeli intelligence and security officials, but officials in the Gulf, like the Qataris and even the Iranians, trying to get an understanding of how everyone sees this situation. And they realize this is an unprecedented moment in the Middle East because it has an opportunity to change the reality for the region. You mentioned that Israel's been...
It already has. We're already looking at a very different reality within 48 hours.
At war for more than 600 days, and we have seen the missile fire from places like Yemen with the Houthis there, from Hezbollah in southern Lebanon, and of course the groups inside Gaza like Hamas and Islamic Jihad. What we saw...
Trump had him in a 60-day agreement. He just said it there, 61 days, and he said there's a second chance. We can just still work things out, but the real question is, I don't think Israel is going to. They've started their offense, and Iran, they retaliated, and now we're seeing a major back and forth.
Tonight was quite different, Sean. We saw direct missile attacks targeting major population centers, and the reality is that when these barrages come in so intense and so powerful, even with Israel's advanced missile defense systems, like the David Sling or the Arrow 2 and 3 system, with the support of the American systems that are currently on the ground, like the Patriot system and the THAAD system, it's not enough. And that's the big question moving forward as the Iranians will continue to target major population centers in Israel, is how the Israelis will be able to keep up with this incoming fire while they're still going on the offensive. As we know tonight, striking targets just outside of the Iranian capital. A lot of moving parts here, and the region is bracing for very tense days ahead. Sean?
And clearly the Israelis were preparing for that. Among the long list of targets that they have had in Iran include their long-range missile sites, which the Iranians had been building up, probably in anticipation of the nuclear sites being attacked, that then being their plan B to try and overwhelm their missile defense system. And to some extent, the Israelis have been able to buffer that by taking out a lot of those missile sites. Stay with us. We'll get back to you, Trey, throughout the program. We can fully confirm tonight that the U.S. is using their assets in the region now to help shoot down ballistic missiles that'll...
So there you go. We just got the confirmation. The U.S. is assisting to some degree in shooting down Iranian missiles. We just heard it right there. Holy crap, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen.
Are displayed with a black trail on the map, and that's what you're seeing, a black trail on the map. That's an estimated position. So my guess is that it may have turned. Sean TV was saying maybe they turned off their transponder. I don't know, maybe.
Okay, I don't know what kind of information we have here. He's tracking a plane,
Black trail on the...
and I guess the plane went dark. Let's see here. And, when an aircraft is flying out of coverage, Flight Radar 24 will estimate the position of the aircraft up to 4 hours. If the destination of the flight is unknown, made up for 10 minutes, the position is calculated based on many different parameters. In most cases, it's quite accurate. I don't know what he's trying to get into here.
Will estimate the position of the aircraft for up to 4 hours. Trail on the map. And that's what you're seeing. A black trail on the map. That's an estimated position. And that's what
Oh, okay, yeah, I see now. So, I don't know.
what you're seeing. A black trail on the map. That's an estimated position.
God, there's been so many issues with aircraft, all kinds, but
launch from Iran. But as of now, the U.S. is
okay,
not
please
participating.
mute. Holy crap, that was loud. Yeah, there's been all sorts of issues with aircraft, and just no thank you. I don't want to ever step into a plane. Not ever again, but just not right now. Things need to get sorted out because it feels like it's happening more often than it ever has. Sometimes multiple times in a day.
Pictures of the extensive damage by the Iranian missiles on Israel, which I'm guessing is just, you know, a small fraction of compared to the damage in Iran, which they're not really reporting on. But they really are hitting, like, look at this huge damage in Israel. I mean, they're still posting, you know, about, like, there's been explosions heard in Iran in these places. Uh-oh, what's this? What's this? Sirens in Jerusalem? Who said that? There's one report of Al Jazeera says AFP says sirens in Jerusalem. I have a Jerusalem feed. I haven't heard anybody else say that. Jerusalem feed right here. You're looking at it. That's weird. Maybe somebody from AFP heard it there. I don't know.
Okay, well, there's no report on that yet. I don't know why he would report that. He's claiming it's an Al Jazeera report, which I believe him. I like I said, agenda free. Check this guy out. Check out the channel. Very good channel. Amazing coverage. No agenda, just coverage and news whenever it breaks.
OSINT Technical, who I follow, believes that Israel's just struck the West Tehran early warning radar station. I can't confirm that. That's what OSINT Technical thinks. I'll post a link in the chat. Hey, Joe Seals, oh my gosh. So generous of Joe Seals. Joe, that is so nice of you. Wow. Thank you, Joe. That's really, really kind of you, Joe Seals. Some of you know Joe from Right Side, which he created. Thank you, Joe. That's very, very kind of you. Also, thank you to, did I thank, I thanked that person already. Thank you to Skylar Shelton. We don't know if there's another wave of missiles coming. I've no idea. None. If there is, it could be tonight, tomorrow, a week from now. Don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. Thank you, Emo. Ian Cork. Died suddenly. IndyCar. Brian Gill. U.S. Patriot. Thanks, Brian, for the memberships. And U.S. Patriot for the membership. Zach T. Hello Voltage. Maggie O'Brien. Britain with Ukraine. Thank you. Jesse James, Chris Canada, Quebec City. Mr. Rainbow loves coffee. Evil Spoon. Thank you. Also, thanks Snow Cones on Twitch. Thanks Luddington on Twitch. Thanks Total Blank Show on Twitch and Cat Run on Twitch.
This guy's streaming this on Twitch? Wow, he's able to get away with that? Surprised Twitch even allows this.
Yeah, I don't know. Iranian media is claiming that Israeli media said there were sirens in Jerusalem. I didn't hear that at all. I didn't hear such a thing. I don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah, that's a weird thing to report, unless it's like foreshadowing of some type, which would be... yeah, probably keep an eye on that.
It is 4:16 Israel time, 4:46 Iran time. Hang on a moment here. Give you a little update from the Washington Post. They say Iran unleashed a barrage of ballistic missiles at Israel late Friday as it retaliated for the waves of Israeli strikes that killed top Iranian military leaders and nuclear scientists and damaged a key uranium enrichment site. Most of the missiles were intercepted or fell short, the IDF said, but at least one appeared to have slammed into central Tel Aviv. I believe a couple did. The Israeli defense minister said Iran has crossed red lines by daring to fire missiles at civilian population centers in Israel. We will continue to defend the citizens of Israel and it will ensure the Ayatollah regime pays a very heavy price for its criminal actions. Israeli leaders have portrayed the campaign as a preemptive strike on Iran's nuclear program. For years, Prime Minister Netanyahu has argued that only military force would denuclearize Iran. But after a year of crippling military and strategic setbacks, including the loss of key allies, Hezbollah in Lebanon and also Assad in Syria, Iran has a limited arsenal with which to fight back. And it's unclear how Tehran plans to match Israel's escalation, which could last for days or weeks, according to Israeli officials. One expert, one thing in this Washington Post article, they talk about how previous Israeli strikes on Iran targeted Iranian military sites and hardware, many of them far from major cities. But Friday's Israeli raids included attacks on military leaders at their homes and residential areas. Expert Nicole Grajewski, an Iran researcher, said This was in the center of Tehran. Entire apartment buildings collapsed. So this was not the kind of restrained engagement we saw from Israel last year.
Okay, so I just found a tweet that I don't think I can share unless there's confirmation from actual like an actual news facility here, or a news facility, a news station. Okay, let's see here. Okay, so there's how can I say this? Pull this one up. The UN nuclear watchdog chief. Yeah, and you can pretty much just read the rest on your own. And here is the IAEA, International Atomic Energy Agency, and they claim that it is manageable with appropriate protection measures. But I mean, let's be real here. We should have put 2 and 2 together. When you strike those kinds of places, there's obviously going to be something of that degree, right? I'm dancing around the words here because I gotta be careful with YouTube. Not entirely sure. We have a news week here. I can just pull this up. Which view can I use on that? I guess that works. Israel strike on Iran causing radioactive contamination inside the facility, which is also in the statement from the International Atomic Energy Agency, manageable with appropriate protection measures. So that's going to be something to keep an eye on, and as that escalates further, and the situation escalates further, yeah, inside the facilities in Natanz, or Natanz, I don't know how you pronounce that. So that's the thing that's going on right now. All right. Let's take a listen to this.
What we see is a lot of talk and very little agreement. They will talk on one hand, prolong the negotiations, and actually
A lot of talk and no agreement. Sounds like Canadian Parliament.
a nuclear weapon. And so it must be that it would be a non-nuclear Iran that continues if this government's going to stay in place. But outside of that, they would have to look at a regime change of some type.
Clay, well, I'll tell you what, Clay, you stay right there. We're going to come back on the other side. We're just running up on a hard break here. Mark Meadows, we appreciate you being with us. We have a lot more ground to cover.
A lot of ground to cover. My name Hannity. A lot of ground. Okay. I don't know. And I'm hoping nothing else continues beyond what we saw. Based on the information I just gave out there earlier. I have no idea what's going to happen with that. That's pretty wild shit, though, nonetheless.
Chris N says satellites are watching.
Potential Chernobyl 2.0.
There's been, up until about an hour ago or so, been all these things happening.
Let's go live.
All right, well, I got a clip here we can watch.
Let's go live now to Tel Aviv, where Fox News chief foreign correspondent Trey Yingst has been up all night, is standing by with all the details. Trey, what can you tell us?
Yeah, Laura, following that Israeli attack against Iranian nuclear facilities and top IRGC leadership overnight and into today, the Iranians have responded with 3 waves of ballistic missiles. This is Israel's version of the Pentagon, the Kiryat. And the building on this compound was just hit.
Please go back, please, go back, please.
You can understand here, it's very tense at this specific location because the Iranians are now targeting the defense establishment of Israel. And so I'm going to have my cameraman pan up here to this building just across the street from the Kiryat. And so,
Holy hell, dude. They're gonna get their asses thrown in prison if they don't fucking cooperate.
you can see it's very tense right here because, again...
No shit. My goodness. Guys, as you can see, it's very tense right now. Yeah, you don't say. You don't say. I mean, my goodness, man. He's going on like this is essentially Israel's Pentagon that just got hit, and he's like, it's very tense right now.
You can see it's very tense right here because, again, the Iranians were able to just strike a very significant target in Israel. As we move forward here, we do expect more ballistic missiles to be fired into this country. We understand that Israel's air defense system was active during this third attack. We were in the suburbs of Tel Aviv at a location that had been hit. One woman was killed there, and more than 20 were injured. As these missiles are coming in, an Israeli security source telling Fox News that the Americans are helping to shoot down some of this incoming fire. But as it gets more and more intense, it will be very difficult to do so. And so there are questions about what comes next in this conflict. Again, we're just sort of backing up here from this location. It's a very sensitive location. But the bottom line here, Laura, is that the conflict between Israel and Iran continues. The Iranians have launched around 150 ballistic missiles into this country today, some of them slamming into military establishments, into a variety of residential buildings. And
so, by the way, this isn't like right now, but this was probably, I don't know, 3 to 5 hours ago, based on right now, which is 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
And as you can see off here in the distance, this is a shopping mall in the heart of Tel Aviv. There are both residential and commercial buildings around here, Laura, and they have been damaged in this most recent missile barrage launched by the Iranians. Laura?
Trey, how badly have the residential sites been hit? Because Israel is now saying that what Iran did in its counter strike is basically beyond the pale. And so each side is saying, you did this, the results are going to be devastating for your country.
Yeah, absolutely. What we saw tonight, I have not seen in nearly 7 years of covering this story. We have seen rocket fire from the Gaza Strip with groups like Hamas and Islamic Jihad. We've seen precision-guided missiles coming from Lebanon with the Iran-backed group Hezbollah, ballistic missiles from Yemen with the Houthis. We were here last year in both April and October when the Iranians targeted Israel, and they targeted bases on the outskirts of major population centers. The site that we just got back from, where one woman was killed and at least 20 were injured, an entire block was wiped out. While we were there, every once in a while, the rescue teams, Laura, they would stop and they would tell everyone to be quiet. And they would call out for survivors under the rubble, and they didn't find anyone while we were there. And as we were live on Special Report, there was incoming missile fire, and we had to, in the middle of our hit, get to a shelter underground and wait as explosions happened right overhead. One of them so large it shook the building that we were in. The site that we're at right now, again, it's a very sensitive site, as you saw some of those police and soldiers at the beginning of our conversation here wanting us to move back. They don't want us to show this specific area, but it was a hit that was trying to target directly Israel's version of the Pentagon, the Kiryat. Iran is using what they can.
Yeah, and they didn't want you to film the area, but you guys were right up in there.
Correspondent Trey Yingst.
So, I mean, that's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Not sure what kind of damage was done there. I mean, obviously a building was hit, but I don't know, like, what. They're very vague with what they say. Anyway.
Abdul Aziz says, my best guess is both sides are planning and continuing when night falls again. Right, so that was that one. Now I'm going to show you the other one. That's live right there. Now I'm going to show you the video from the third wave. If I can cue it up here. Where is it? Where is that video? Hang on a moment. There it is. Okay, here it is. Okay, here is from Wave 3, the replay from Wave 3. Sorry it took me so long to get that on the air. Where's that thing? Oops, here we go. Here we go, right here. This is from Wave 3. Earlier. Boom. That came right in. Then you can see the smoke coming up there. Yeah, guys, it literally says on the screen earlier tonight. I'll show that again. I'll show it again. Some people are saying there's an alert of some sort. Let me check the alert. Let me check it. Some people are saying there's an alert. I'm looking right now at the alert. I don't see anything on my SoFar app. I see nothing on the SoFar app. Oh, I think, hold on. We may have some more missiles coming. Hold on a second. Hold on.
Okay, guys, brace for another potential wave. I don't know. No, maybe not. Maybe not.
It's weird. Homefront Command says, in the next few minutes, some alerts are expected. So Israeli Homefront Command says there are alerts that are expected. It's like a pre-alert. But the alerts haven't happened yet. So I haven't seen a statement yet from the IDF yet. So I'll see what the IDF says. Homefront Command, well, we don't have anything from IDF yet posted. They usually will post. I'm not seeing much about it in Israeli media. It's weird. Some people are claiming the IDF said something. I haven't seen an IDF post on it yet. Again, what's happened is Homefront Command has said, Homefront Command has issued some alerts.
Okay, so Homefront Command issued some alerts. Look at this footage down here, guys. Cleaning up the wreckage of a building. Can't go back, but got some drone footage here as well. They're towing away cars. Don't have any way to pull something like that up, but right now we're waiting for, I guess, an alert here.
Alerts in Israel. Possible Iran missiles incoming. All right, hold on. So we have the Tel Aviv camera right there. We have the Jerusalem camera. We have the Haifa camera. Now, takes a few minutes, but there are new alerts. Yes, So it sounds like there's more coming in. Well, we're going to keep an eye out right now.
Yes, we are going to keep a major eye out. I was just going to switch over to Fox, but it looks like they're going on a break. Let's see here. We have that footage from yesterday. I'm looking for footage. If there's any latest footage here, but if not footage, then I guess even wow, yeah, I can't show that on stream. Oh my goodness. Just wow, okay. I feel like that is not from the okay, yeah, I definitely can't show that. I still can't believe Fox News was right on site of the attack there, and they were just screaming at them to get the hell out of there. I don't know why they were so close. Very foolish of them to be that close. I got footage of looks like missiles launching, but I can't say if it's from right now or earlier. No confirmation on that. I'm not gonna show it. But we do have IDF now. Iran launches more missiles at Israel.
Well, here we go. We're waiting for the missiles. That's what's happening. We're waiting for the missiles. We might see something on the Jerusalem can. The Army says we are working to eliminate the threat. Follow the home front command instructions. It's at 4:45 a.m. in Israel. Now my SOFAR app doesn't have anything on it at the moment. Getting ready here in case I need to switch any of these camera angles. I actually have two cameras. If I need a second one, I have a second one from Jerusalem. There's that one. We are waiting to see what happens, because Israel's military says there are more missiles on the way. We have not seen anything on our cameras yet. I expect that we will hear sirens soon. Yeah, I believe it takes 10 to 12 minutes for ballistic missiles to get there.
Oh, okay, that was... I thought those were the sirens beginning. I thought he did as well. Wow. I guess apparently any minute now, guys. I don't know. I'll see.
This Jerusalem, I think I want to move down. I think I should get things out of the sky. Because what's most likely to happen with Tel Aviv is that things will be in the sky. So let's keep an eye on the sky on the Tel Aviv cam up here. And again, either of the other cameras, if something happens, I'll just make that the big camera. It doesn't take long to make it bigger, but I think we want to keep that sky clear. That's where you're going to see stuff first. And I just don't know which one we'll see anything on. Nothing yet. Nothing yet. Any chance it's a false alarm? Looking at all of these shots, I haven't seen anything yet. Nothing out of the ordinary. So it's for northern Israel, but I don't know where the camera in Jerusalem is posted. Jerusalem is in theory close. Haifa is in northern, but it's on the western side of the country, not the eastern. But right now, my SOFAR map doesn't have any alerts on it. But sometimes the sirens just start, and then it all happens very fast. So again, the IDF has said that a fourth wave is coming.
All right, a fourth wave, guys, on the way, apparently. I don't know, can't confirm it. We have seen footage of the aftermath of Israel in some areas. There's also a lot of fake news going around right now, so be very careful with what you see here. Just looking, I'm pre-screening a video here. Make sure there isn't anything too crazy or extreme. Other than, obviously, the massive amounts of damage. But, yeah. Just wild. Very, very wild.
Now this has paused, so I gotta reset this. Now this has paused, so I gotta reset this. supposedly, the missiles are on the way. Breaking news! Homefront Command says you can leave the protected area, but you must stay near it. Hey guys, Homefront Command now says you can leave the protected area, but you must stay near it. So are there no missiles?
Sounds like a weird command to give.
Did they land somewhere else? So what is happening with this? Was it a false alarm? Did they shoot the missiles down? Was it just a couple missiles? Oh, interceptions? Were there interceptions, maybe? Trying to figure this out. But again, on Telegram, they posted.
Okay, so I have it's either one video, a report of an intercepted missile that was, I guess, on its way to Haifa. I can't 100% confirm that. Also another video here showing missiles hitting. Okay, no, that's an old video. Okay. See what he has to say.
It's there. Maybe he's just seeing it online. Yeah, so.
Okay, so now I'm seeing the same video kind of pop up everywhere now, claiming that it was intercepted over Haifa. I could be... just looking to see. Because he has a camera up over here of Haifa. It does look like the same sunset and everything too. Same sunset and building outline or skyline.
They just posted that. So I don't know what happened, but the IDF just posted, following the situational assessment, the Homefront Command published that it is now permitted to leave protected spaces and to remain near them. So it sounds to me like they've taken care of whatever was happening, or it's over for the time being. Tux News posted what he says is footage of an interception. Where was that from? Hold on a second here.
Yeah, okay, this footage is popping up everywhere. A rare exo. I don't know how do I even say this? It's too late to be pronouncing words like that. Exo-atmospheric interception was visible over Lower Galilee. This is the word I was struggling with. Galilee? I don't know where that is. A city, I would assume, or town, or wherever in Iran. Likely an Iranian ballistic missile shot down outside of the Earth's atmosphere. So a rare exo-atmospheric interception. Gonna wait for a couple more confirmations here, but it looks like we have multiple camera angles along with pictures and
IDF says Israelis can leave protected spaces after missile alert. That's what I'm going to say.
Doctor doesn't mask pain.
Hey, less missile attacks means less damage and injuries, which is good. But I would like to find out what happened. Exactly.
it is very good, and I would, yes, also like to find out what happened as well. I would like this to end across the board. That would be fantastic. Wow, okay, this is very close footage of what just happened. I say what just happened, but it happened like 5-6 hours ago.
תעשי פה משהו מטורף. מה זה? כאילו שוגר איזה מין... אוקיי.
Whoa! Oh my god. Wow. Okay. Okay, indeed.
In theory, somebody said it was seen on the Bethlehem camera. So in theory, I didn't have it posted here. Oh, is that the Haifa camera? No, what is that? That's Bethlehem. Now I'm confused. I think I might have had, no, where's Haifa? No, that's Haifa. I don't have Bethlehem on the screen, but I can see it here. Maybe I'll check. I would need like a time code. Does Paytux's thing have a time code on it? It's possible that it did appear on my Bethlehem camera quickly, but I didn't see it. I'm gonna look. I'm gonna look. 135 to 145. Let's try that. Maybe I can find it on my Bethlehem camera that I have access to. I'm downloading the clip from the Bethlehem camera right now. Okay, let's see here. Bethlehem feed. I'm looking at it right now. Is that it? I got it! I got it, guys. I got it captured on the Bethlehem camera. I found it. I didn't have it up at the time. Oh, look at this. Okay, hold on. It's there. All right, here it is. I'm going to show you on the Bethlehem camera from about, what, 15 minutes ago? This is it. It's the outside the atmosphere, interception.
Okay, well, he's all excited that he found it. I had it up. I had it up a long time ago. I just wanted to make sure it was legitimate and I wasn't sharing false information. Here we go. Right up in the top there. Gives you that full view. Get you that closer view there. So, yeah, interesting. Pretty crazy. Right over Haifa. So that was just intercepted. And here's another one. Boom. That's crazy. Wow, that is something. That's for sure. And that's where's the photo? There it is. We have a photo of it. And these two videos are just crazy. So yeah, there you go.
That's it, outside the atmosphere. I'll show you again. Crazy. Good catch by Faytux News. I wouldn't have known it if Faytux News didn't post it.
That is pretty crazy to look at. That is something.
Looks when they're intercepted outside the atmosphere. So one of our viewers thinks the USA took it down. I don't know. Anyway, we'll watch it one more time. That's really neat. How about that, guys? Well, there you go. Mystery solved. Thanks to Faytux News for... He posted that that's what happened, and I was like, I gotta check my Bethlehem feed.
I care so much.
So you don't care.
Wow. It's again outside, what's it called? Exo-atmospheric interception. It's an exo-atmospheric interception. So that's when a missile is destroyed when it's still in space. When it's still in space, guys. Also, I'm reading that when it's intercepted, the interceptor is not explosive. It just collides into it. Crazy. The high-speed impact pulverizes the incoming missile. Supposedly, according to the article I'm reading, the Israeli Arrow 3 can do exo-atmospheric interceptions. Oh, another alert? Is there another alert? Hold on. Is there another alert? Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Yes, another detection, it's looking like. It looks like we have more alerts. Yes.
Okay, guys, we have more alerts coming in. Home Front Command. Israel's Home Front Command confirming more missiles en route. Unsure of which city is targeted. We just saw an interception in the atmosphere above Haifa. So potentially Bethlehem. I don't know. That's what he's saying. He's going to get the Bethlehem camera up.
Okay, the IDF says more missiles. New missile alert from IDF. New missile alert. IDF says Iran has launched more missiles. Breaking news, Iran has launched new missiles toward Israel, says the IDF. So we got Haifa, Jerusalem. I got a second Jerusalem camera I'm looking at. We got Tel Aviv. I have Bethlehem on the side that I'm looking at. More missiles launched toward Israel, guys. Give me a moment. Trying to keep up with this. But more missiles launched toward Israel. I believe these alerts are for the south. I just saw one report saying they were for the south. But let me make sure. I'm not sure about that. South, in the south, I'm seeing that this is southern Israel. I don't believe I have any cameras in southern Israel. Just so you know. So we're waiting on these new missiles. Trying to find out more. But if it's in the south, it might not be on any of these cameras. You might see or hear nothing. also don't know how many there are. Maybe it's just a couple. Maybe it's more.
I don't care who it is.
Excuse me. Okay, new alert, rocket alert. Oh, hold on. I think some of it's in the north. Yes, I have it right here. Actually, I'm seeing. Oh no, well it's not. It's near. It's in the central Israel. Central Israel. Really quick. Oh, and also in the north. Also in the north. Keep an eye on the north. New alerts in the north near Haifa. New alerts near Haifa in the north and near Tel Aviv. And near Tel Aviv. And near Jerusalem. A lot of alerts right now. Near Jerusalem.
Oh my god, okay, a massive wave of alerts is coming in, guys. It looks like a potential Israel-wide strike based on what he's saying, and I'm reading a couple different things here. On X as well from the Israel War Room.
Israel as well. Especially looking at the Haifa and the... Here's the sirens right now.
Here we go,
Here are the
guys.
sirens.
Here we go, sirens.
All right, let's see what we see. I'll do my best. Are we seeing anything in the sky on any of these cameras? I'm going to make this a little smaller here. What are we going to see? Are we seeing anything up there? The camera's panning around. It's panning around. I'm looking to see. I haven't seen anything yet. I'm just looking along with you guys at multiple cameras. Haifa is here.
In Jerusalem, I think I just saw something. I don't know if that was his mouse, maybe, or I thought I just saw something. I could be wrong.
Here, maybe something up here.
Okay, I think it was his mouse.
Up there? No, right up here? Hold on. Get me out of the way. Right up here? Anything? No?
Yeah, that's something right there. That's something right there. And another one right there. Oh, holy shit, guys. Multiple above Tel Aviv right now.
Activity up here. I'm gonna get the other cameras off for right now.
Oh, we just saw an
Look at
impact.
that. Look it up
Multiple
there.
impacts.
Look it up there.
Atmospheric
Looks like interceptions above
interceptions. Exo-atmospheric impacts. Here's more coming down right now.
Cam right now. Tel Aviv cam. Looks like maybe interceptions. Sirens going away. Did they intercept everything?
Wow, there's a lot coming down right now.
Something else flying through the air right there. What's happening? Whoa. More interceptors? Oh no. Stuff's looks like maybe some debris fell or something. I don't know if there was a hit or debris fell, but look at right in here. Some smoke coming up from the ground. So I don't know if we had a hit. We're hearing some booms. Those might be interceptions that you're hearing right now. Could be interceptions. I'm not seeing anything on the... Oh, I see some stuff on the other Tel Aviv camera. I'm going to have to replay that. I don't see it right now. I'm going to replay... Remind me to replay the other Tel Aviv camera.
All right, guys, so we're looking at live footage. This is happening right now, right over Tel Aviv. Numerous interceptions over Tel Aviv. Potential debris, or one of the missiles successfully landed again. Unsure at the moment.
There was something on the Bethlehem camera, too.
Potentially numerous interceptions all across Israel.
There's still some alerts. An alert in Jerusalem area. Let me keep an eye out on these cameras, see if I see anything else. we just saw a bunch of activity on the Tel Aviv camp. Still a few rocket alerts or missile alerts in the center of Israel, West Bank, south of Jerusalem. Wow. I'm not seeing anything on the Bethlehem cam. I'm not seeing anything on the Jerusalem camera. Whoa, 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 whoa. Now let me go back. I'm going to show you. I have some stuff on the other Tel Aviv cam. In a second, I'm going to show you the other Tel Aviv cam. There's only one alert left now, and I'm not seeing anything on any of the cameras. Sherilyn says this is unnerving. Alright, I'll put myself back on now. Wow, we can watch that again too, but pretty crazy. Hang on a moment here. All right, I want to get a replay of that so we have it. Hold on. Let me show you what I saw. Let me show you the other camera here. This, I haven't even looked at it really yet. This is the other Tel Aviv cam right here. Right there. That's the other Tel Aviv camera, and I'm going to play the replay for you of this. This is a replay, and I think you see some stuff coming in. Again, this is a replay. Yeah, look at the sky on this Tel Aviv camera. See right up there on the right that streak there? When did that come in? Hold on. Right. Where is it? Right here, watch. Where is it there? Right there. You see the streak right there. Oh, that, you see the interceptor going up. That's an interceptor being shot up. You can just see it there. Now, I think we can probably see more eventually.
So that just happened. I wish you would show the other angle, because it actually showed what happened. I'm looking for a video of what we just saw, because that was fucking wild. Let's see here. Let's see if there's any more alerts as well. Just had those alerts. Oh wow, there's a lot actually. Alerts over northern, central, and southern. So I don't know if we're going to see more. But we just saw a 4th or 5th wave now, I believe. So Yeah, let me show you guys what the alert map looks like. I'm seeing a ton of them right now. This one is a good idea. Just crazy. Scroll, here's another one. The alert maps are everywhere right now, so crazy, crazy, crazy.
See if I can get a report on what happened. I don't know if there was any injuries or any falls. So let me see if, what reports I can get about what happened there. Wow, intense, intense. Oh, OSINT Technical says there was an exo-atmospheric interception seen from Jerusalem. Huh. Huh. I don't know if my camera caught it. Let me see what Israel had to say.
Alright, gonna take a quick break here from the Israel situation. We have LA protests, riots still going strong. And it looks like police are now on motorcycles. I believe they were avoiding them before just due to how exposed they are on them, but we're seeing them now be utilized. And the protesters, a lot of them, still in full force. It looks like they're blocking off the roads now just with the bikes. They're not even doing it with waves of them. But just a little pop in here on the LA protest. Probably still outside of the MDC. Yep, they are. Looks like they're marching away from it.
Yes, I think there's a new one. I think we have more missiles coming in. More missiles. More missiles coming in, guys. Or rockets or missiles. Okay? Enter the protected area. So there's more. There's more coming. There are more coming now. So we'll keep watching. There are more coming. Wow.
Alright, there you heard it first. More coming on the way. I got a multi-skyline here. I'm gonna see if I can find a better one. Got Haifa or Haifa, Jerusalem, Bethlehem, and I guess a various skyline. Looks like it's over Tel Aviv. Okay, we got the camera. Okay, hold on. Let me just get some audio back in here.
Facebook. They're probably mad at me over there. Well, it was busy.
Alright, so I have this camera we can use as well. We do have another missile warning. More missiles currently on the way to Israel. I do have the alerts constantly going. Alerts are apparently sounding in Central. Wow, look at this footage here. This is insane. All over the sky. Just everywhere. That's wild.
We ended up seeing it on the Tel Aviv cam. We are waiting for more here. We're just waiting for the missiles to arrive. Oh, Haifa, yes, in the sky in Haifa. You're right. Good spot. There was, maybe it was a plane. Where is it here? Oh, that's not it. That's the wrong one.
So it does look like there's something in the sky there, potentially a plane in Haifa. And then down here in Bethlehem, it looks like something is moving there too, but I can't confirm. So there's something there in Haifa and something over there in Bethlehem.
Now I've completely confused myself and everything's messed up. Maybe it's a missile. Maybe it's an interceptor. Maybe it's a plane. I don't know. We're just waiting now for the missiles.
I noticed on this multicam I got going here, Iranian nuclear site city, 2 of them on camera here. Guess a farmer's field, I don't know. And the main city, or their capital. I believe Tehran is their main city. Because he was just going on about, Agenda Free was just going on about how it's very difficult to find cameras in Iran, so who knows. We potentially have an announcement, an alert announcement, and sirens.
My so far red alert yet. I'm waiting along with you guys. Haven't heard anything new yet. GLZ radio says southern Israel, but I don't know if that's the case. We'll have to see. They said alarm sounded in southern Israel. I have yet to see anything on any of my cameras here. Not hearing any sirens on any of these feeds. Maybe it's stuff is happening right now in a different part of Israel. I don't know. Facebook is live, guys. Facebook is live. The Facebook stream is live. Oh, sorry. I took myself off accidentally. I do not know. What is that thing? Is this something? I didn't. I mean, I see that thing on the Haifa stream, but Haifa is in northern Israel. So maybe that's something else. Because I'm not aware of activity there at the moment, but I don't know. Oh, water drop on the camera. Probably is a water drop on the camera. That's a good guess.
Alright, I had to go get some water. Stretch. You know the gist of it. I guess we're looking at warnings all across Israel again. And I'm going to check for alerts here. Yeah, we have alerts all over. New wave of alerts. All over. 3 separate barrages in a span of 15 minutes. And more new alerts expected. And there are power outages apparently being reported due to the attacks in Israel, which, I mean, yeah, when you hit buildings with missiles, yeah, the power will go out. And the infrastructure will be damaged. Like, I don't know why people think that's such a shocking thing to report. The attack itself, sure, but no, not that the power is out. That's not shocking. Yeah, we're looking at absolutely craziness. And the thing is, they intercept them, but the debris still has to fall, so these major strikes happening over cities, there's still going to be little pieces of whatever missiles they're firing and the interceptors themselves, when they get blown up into numerous pieces as well, they themselves, like the interceptors, don't have any explosive power in them, as we're learning, but they're simply just there to break up in the air as they hit the missile. So stuff will still fall down to some degree. So we have breaking news from the IDF, I guess. An hour ago, they took down 3 drones in Yemen, or from Yemen. So
There might have been interceptions? Khan News says a missile from Iran hit buildings in central Israel, injuring 9 people slightly. This is from one of these recent barrages. Again, Khan News says a missile from Iran hit buildings in central Israel, injuring 9 people slightly at the scene. Look, we got the sun coming up. The sun is coming up, guys. The sun is coming up.
yes, the sun is up and looking bright as it normally does. Now, we're seeing reports still at large here, all across. I don't know if that's just people seeing what we just saw and reporting it now, or if it's continued reports, but we're awaiting any sort of 5th or 6th wave, I think we're at now, of attacks. I mentioned before that Iran only has a certain amount of missiles before they run out. And if they're just going to keep firing them over and over again, they're going to run out probably quick, as they don't have a big surplus, but I don't know. Nobody truly knows how big their stockpile is, nor do they know how many they have ready to go, plus how many are being built or are built. Only the Iranians would know that. And we're also kind of waiting for a response here from Israel of any kind, I guess, because this has been back and forth, obviously, for a while. And oh, what do we have here?
Is this what you want to see full screen? This is Haifa.
Okay, I thought that was maybe a dust cloud or something in the back there, but no, it's not. We're waiting for some sort of response here. I don't know if Israel plans on attacking again directly right away after this. Obviously, we're still waiting. I guess apparently a very important part of Israel was hit. I'm going to pull up that clip. Pull up that Fox News clip again, because that was absolutely wild how close they were able to get to the actual area. I don't know where it went. Hold on. Let me see if I can grab it here. One guy they have working there on the ground constantly. I don't think he's just a Fox News guy. He does everybody, but Trey Inkster or something like that. That guy is effing crazy. This guy right here.
It's just. Let's go live now to Tel Aviv, where Fox News chief foreign correspondent Trey Yingst has been up all night, is standing by with all the details. Trey, what can you tell us?
Yeah, Laura, following that Israeli attack against Iranian nuclear facilities and top IRGC leadership overnight and into today, the Iranians have responded with 3 waves of ballistic missiles. This is Israel's version of the Pentagon, the Kiryat. And the building on this compound was just hit.
Please go back, please, go back, please.
You can understand here, it's very tense at this specific location because the Iranians are now targeting the defense establishment of Israel. And so I'm going to have my cameraman pan up here to this building just across the street from the Kiryat. And so, you can see it's very tense right here because, again, the Iranians were able to just strike a very significant target in Israel.
Yeah, I actually think for a second there he got scared. I don't blame him either. I like, fuck, dude. This guy has major balls for doing the shit he does. He was reporting back at the beginning of when Ukraine got invaded, and I'm sure he's got quite the portfolio. Like, that face right there when he gets yelled at, he's like, holy shit. Yeah, that is not a good situation to be in.
You can see it's very tense right here because...
Very tense right now, guys. Yeah, you don't say.
So, the IDF says you can leave your protected area. So it looks like the latest round is over. Injuries and damage reported from new Iranian missiles. I know I have a typo. I gotta say a couple thank yous, but give me one. I'm coming right back. I need like 1 minute. I just need to take 1 minute. Okay, I just need a minute.
Alright, he's going to be right back, but we are going to continue on.
Just a massive amount of fire coming to Tel Aviv right now. Yaniv, get ready to pull it off the stick. Get off the sticks. All right, let's go. Time to go. Okay. Guys, come on.
That was obviously the big clip of the night, but a lot more has happened since then. A lot more has happened since then. That was about 7, 8 hours ago. No, probably longer now. That was probably almost 10 hours ago. If I had to give a rough estimate, probably 8 to 10 hours ago. God dang. Let's see here. We had alerts going constantly over the past 4 to 5 minutes. Probably longer than that, honestly. We have more footage here of... Let me pull this up. More footage here. So that was another one. And yeah, obviously the big shot of the night.
Hey, what's the very latest?
Yeah, Sean, thank you. It's been an intense evening here in Israel. The Iranians launching around 150 ballistic missiles into this country in 3 separate waves. That video that you saw there was the first wave. The other waves caused a lot of damage to locations not only here in Tel Aviv, but also in the suburbs. We visited.
Yeah, so that was the first wave. We are talking like 5th or 6th wave now. We are very far into it. Yeah, so that first wave was about 8 hours ago. That's what they're saying right now here based on that time frame, 8 hours ago. And then I'm looking at one right now. Israel strikes primary base of Iran's 216th Armored Brigade. They do this right now? Right now? Okay, well this is what I can confirm. This one right here, we just saw a bunch of these missiles get intercepted, unless that's another... So much is going on right now. And we just went through a massive wave of missiles dropping in, so I don't know... I don't know which ones are... not just legit, but which ones just happened and which ones are the old ones. If it's nighttime when those missiles hit, then that was the first wave. But we're looking at wave 5, 6, and potentially 7. Got this clip too. So that's happened as well.
We just had 3 different missile warnings. 3 different missile warnings. And a couple rounds of missiles. Crazy. Hey, let me thank a couple people. Hold on. Thank you to, I owe a couple thanks here. Sorry, I'm behind because we were so busy. Thank you to Jess. Thank you, Jess. Amber Tucky. Jess saw something on the AP cam. Yeah, sometimes we don't, my cams don't have it and somebody else's do, so I don't know which particular thing you're talking about. You can message me about it, but I can't, unfortunately, I can't use their cams. I can only use what I have the rights to. Thanks for letting me know. But I'm not sure which, if you want to send me a screen grab or something on X @LookMe, you can write to me there. Thank you, Jess, Amber Tucky, Mitchell Pilot, Morning Breeze.
There. Okay.
Morning Breeze Entertainment, thank you. I had read that a couple days ago that Israel was moving some hospital activity to these underground places as a precaution. I don't know the extent of it. Thank you. Fierce Warrior, thank you. We're live on Facebook. Oh, I think I said that already. Okay. Yeah, we are live on Facebook. Sheila, thank you to Sheila.
So once again, check out Agenda Free TV. Absolutely fantastic channel. Great reporting. Cannot stress it enough. Would recommend 1,000,000%. I'm looking at footage right now of some aftermath here, and yeah, it's bad. Yeah, it's exactly how you would think. Ay ay ay. Hold on, let me mute him because he's talking in my ear right now. Alright, let me turn him down because actually I want to hear updates as well. Important.
I think they're trying to deplete Israel's anti-missile defense. Kurt Krozartov,
I'll throw that up while
Mitchell
we're
Pilot, Eddie C,
hanging out
Brenda
for a minute
Mather,
here.
BBG, Crystal Faust, Amy G, Cats Rule. Sorry, I'm way behind on my thank you.
You guys should follow.
Faust.
I don't know where this channel just came from, but you should follow this channel on Twitter.
Thank you.
I'm gonna do that right now.
Brenda
They're
Mather,
dropping a lot of
John
good
Farms, thank you.
stuff. Well, not good stuff. I shouldn't
James
say it's
Foreman, Lily
good, but a
Palmer,
lot of
Wolfram,
up-to-date
Himalayan
and
music,
breaking
2 million
information, I should say.
nanovations,
Very quick.
Abby, Tim747, Duncan, Trussell.
And I was talking over that guy the whole time. How fantastic. All right. Let's see. Continuing on here. Yeah, we got some very catastrophic looking footage here. So I'm not going to show any of that. I already showed a little bit of aftermath stuff from the first wave, but after that, I'm not going to do any more.
Jeff Bevis, PZ Papa Zulu, PV Lima 3.
I'll leave it, if the mainstream media or this guy wants to show it, I'll leave that up to them, but I'm not going out of my way to show that again. And I also have this, I'm going to leave this multicam up. I'm going to get rid of that one. Even though they show different skylines, but this is a variety right here. Put that one on standby just in case. Drop that quality down. Don't need those to be full 1080, no need. Okay. I think everything has briefly taken a breather. Yes, I can confirm there's a lot of structural damage in certain areas of Israel. Okay. Let's see. Gonna check that before I continue onward. Oh yeah, okay, this is the footage. Yeah, I'm not gonna show this footage, but I will leave it up to that. Okay. Just crazy. Lots of crazy footage of the initial wave. Excuse me. Look at this one right here. I think I showed this earlier, but this wasn't the initial wave. This is one that just happened. Strikes coming in. Okay, yeah, there's a lot of fake stuff coming out right now too, so be very careful with what you guys see. So I showed this one earlier. I'm not going to show the actual video. I'll just do slideshow kind of style, but you get the idea. This was the first wave. Yeah. Yeah. Crazy. Very, very, very crazy.
Well, we're definitely seeing more waves of Iranian missiles than we did either last October or last April. Last April and last October, it was just one wave, I think. Probably had 5 or 6 waves today.
Yeah, easily 5 or 6, 100%. That's for sure. That last barrage was pretty major, but the first one was the most damaging. At least from what I can confirm, the first one. Second barrage was the most damaging. Yeah, that first barrage was about 10 hours ago now. 10 hours ago, looking at footage of Iranians gathering on a hill in Tehran, watching the air defense systems engage, I guess.
Thanks, Uncle John. Some of the nuclear sites in Iran are supposed to be much more underground than others. So I can't tell you at this point how much damage there has been. I did see one article today saying
okay,
this
so
is just the start of
based on everything we're seeing right now, it looks like we have increased security barriers going up near the Embassy of Israel in Washington. So they're preparing. We've already seen the ICE riots. Now I can only imagine as the ICE riots continue, this is going to fuel the fire as well with a certain group of people, and this is only going to further things in the US, if I had to guess. And in Canada, the G7 summit meeting is literally days away, and that is going to, I don't know if that's going to bring a lot of attention, or how much attention it will. But there's already mainstream media running defense saying it's going to be largely peaceful. So I can already assume it's probably not going to be peaceful. I don't know, man. You can't make this stuff up. I will pull the article up here in a minute.
Deep underground with its most powerful bunker buster bombs. Another expert Reuters talked to
in
said
Israel were moments
ago. Israel's core objective is prevention of a nuclear breakout.
Okay, so I'm going to throw this up.
strikes. Welcome to America's Late News, Fox News at Night, where breaking tonight, Operation Rising Lion just getting started, but already having a major impact on Iran, killing top generals as well as scientists and destroying key nuclear sites. And for the record, it is Israel's largest attack ever on an adversary that continually calls for them to be wiped off the map. And now America is involved, but so far only on defense, helping Israel shoot down dozens of incoming missiles, though some missiles have gotten through, including one that hit Israel's version of the Pentagon and others damaging buildings in the commercial capital of Tel Aviv. The situation would clearly be more dire without the Iron Dome. The senior national correspondent Kevin Corke live in D.C. with more on what we have seen and what we can expect in the coming hours. Kevin, good evening.
Trace, good evening to you. Iranian ballistic missiles striking Israel's military headquarters, their country's version of the Pentagon, as you point out, in a direct hit tonight during a major escalation in this conflict between Iran and Israel. Now, there was significant damage done to that building, part of a massive Iranian response to Israeli attacks on nuclear facilities and, of course, on the top IRGC leadership. Now, Fox News witnessed the aftermath at multiple impact sites, including one instance where an entire block was nearly completely destroyed. Reporting on the ground tonight, Trace, suggests that there has been at least one fatality and dozens of injuries, upwards of 50. No word, however, on casualties in Tehran from the Israeli strikes that hit there, of course, the night before then. Now, it's also important to point out, and you made this point, I think it bears repeating, the White House and the Pentagon are being very careful tonight to make a distinction. U.S. assets are being used to protect Israel and the hundreds of thousands of Americans living there, but the U.S. is not involved in strikes on Iran. But the
So they're not involved.
Iranian
They're not involved with strikes, but they are helping defend 100%. And here's the article I was talking about earlier. Like I said, we're days away from the G7. And they're already claiming, like, I don't know how you can predict this, by the way. It's not like the weather where you have a meter or technology to predict this. It's like the CBC, just they're already running defense, largely peaceful. Well, we don't know because they haven't happened yet. Like, it's just absurd. Absolutely absurd. And they keep getting more and more funding.
are threatening. They're saying this to CNN tonight. Iran will intensify its attacks on Israel and target the regional bases of any country that tries to defend it. Meantime, here in Washington, the White House sharing a photo of the president who was in and out of the Situation Room on Friday, where he spent much of the afternoon with his National Security Council. And as you just showed there, those live pictures, as day envelops the region, we continue to monitor the situation as both countries, and for that matter, the entire region, remains on high alert. Trace.
Kevin Corke, we'll get back to you as the show goes on. Kevin, thank you. Let's bring in Israeli Special Ops veteran Aaron Cohen, UCLA student Eli Sivis.
Okay, so take a look here. This looks like different footage. I've never seen this one before. There's a lot of footage circulating right now. I'm going to pull that up here. And let's see if I can get some more going.
What do you think about that, Brent?
It's a good question. I mean, to get to the most sensitive and deeply buried bunkers and infrastructure in Iran, the Israelis are going to need what the United States Army has. But so far, this mission seems to be proceeding very effectively. But I guess if things start to hit a snag, or it's clear that they haven't been able to degrade all the targets that they need to, that could.
Okay, well, let's calm down here. Things just started, and we don't want them to escalate further anyway. You always gotta leave it to the mainstream media to want things to escalate or be... Oh man, it's bloody wild. things have already escalated to a point that they shouldn't have, and he's like, Israel they got to get those weapons from the United States. Like, hey, just relax. We actually have drone footage as well, which is very interesting. Bad quality, but it's very interesting.
We've taken out top military commanders, senior nuclear scientists, the Islamic regime's most significant enrichment facility, and a large portion of its ballistic missile arsenal. More is on the way. The regime doesn't know what hit them. They don't know what will hit them.
Doesn't know what hit them, Dan, doesn't know what will hit them. It feels to me like the Israeli Mossad has repeatedly infiltrated Iran to an extreme extent. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think that these pinpoint precision strikes on Iran's military and their nuclear scientists and some of those sites, the nuclear sites that you mentioned, that's just a reflection of Israel's extraordinary intelligence collection. What they've been able to do is fuse.
Well, it wouldn't shock me if the United States helped them out there a little bit. I can't confirm that. I cannot confirm, but based on the fact that they're helping them defend, yeah, it wouldn't shock me. Okay, let's see what this guy's saying.
Wounded in Israeli strikes on residential areas in Tehran.
That's sophisticated.
Again, I can't confirm those numbers. I don't know. But I would not be surprised if there was collateral damage from Israel going after people in residential areas. Now, is that further live coverage is expected? I can put up a different shot there. I can make the Jerusalem one big now. Ooh. Get rid of this. No. As soon as I have Tel Aviv back, I'll give it to you. 6:08 local time.
Looks like a shot from the Suez Canal or near the Suez Canal of the missiles being intercepted.
There we go. There we go. I might have to take a little snack break in a minute. Appreciate everybody being with us. Hey, thanks to our moderators who are here. We got Beezy. Thanks, Beezy. Thanks to Linda Belk, Larry, and Misha on X, on Twitch. Mark NC, Matthew Kohai 3, McRiches, Sarah, Papa Bear, and Surly Dev. And our Facebook moderators. We've had Kay Lowry Body, Paul Anderson, Margaret Riley, thank you. Thanks, Rita Evans Lang, for subscribing. Thank you, Lori Nelson Cazares, for the Facebook stars. Thank you, Lori. Also, thanks to Robert Paulson and C, our viewer C. What I need to do, I need to take like a couple minutes and have a quick snack and just take a break. There's been so much going on. I think we're almost at 9.